Hello everyone, welcome back to Homestuck. I realized I forgot to say this last time again. If you're enjoying Homestuck, like and subscribe and become a member to see these episodes a week early. Right now, when you're seeing this, if you're not a member, there's 2 more episodes that you could access right now. But don't do it if you don't have the means to. Anyway, last time it was basically just everybody talked on this platform and John and Roxy showed up. So we're all together now, just having like a supports episode. Back when I used to do Fire Emblem, when Fire Emblem 3 Houses came out, I just had support episodes where I just go through the support conversations between the characters. That's literally what this is. This is a support episode, and there might be another one after this. So I ran a random number generator and got 3. So we're starting with Vriska, Tavros, and Jake. What a start. Woohoo! Alright.
Tavros Sprite, is it okay if we pretend to have a conversation over here for a while, so that I look busy and don't come off as big of a doofus as I feel like?
I can oblige, and also personally identify with that idea and the feelings of self-lameness behind it. But I could also help you out with a real conversation too, instead of a fake one. In fact, maybe we already even said enough words together just now for it to qualify.
Ha ha ha. Oh, Tavros Sprite, you've always been the one ray of light shining through the clouds in what has otherwise been an emotionally stormy game experience for me. I'm so grateful that you found it in your ghostly bosom to drift over to Lomox now and then to cheer me up. Often enough to give me a real pick-me-up when feeling blue over friend problems, but just seldom enough to feel like a rare delight when you did.
Yeah, I was under strict instruction from Vriska to not interfere with the timeline much for lots of months, so I didn't get to say hello often. She helped me be back alive, so I kinda owed her that much on one hand, but on the other, I think she was doing her bossy thing for the sake of just telling me what to do, and I didn't see how just being friendly sometimes was even changing the timeline much, or why that idea even mattered, because it seemed like most of y'all here never did much important stuff anyway.
No, Tavros. You know, it must just be a page thing, where you just can't be self-conscious of what you're saying at all.
Haha.
Oh, it's true. That was not the right voice, but whatever. You know how it is.
More tip-top wisdom from the sage bull-headed noggin of yours.
Why do you want to be pretend talking, even though it's real, and look busy to your friends?
I'm just not all up to this socialization yet. Maybe I never will be. I feel at ease talking to you, but all these others, I don't know. It feels really awkward, and I think I lost most of my prior bravado due to a lot of bad things that happened with my friends.
What happened with them?
I just messed up with everyone in a lot of ways I'm too embarrassed to even talk about, and now I just feel gun-shy about everything, I guess. Even polite conversation with fun new people I should be thrilled to meet. I couldn't even set things right with my buddies now if I wanted to. Jane is asleep, so I can't make amends with her after she became an angry robot and punched me in the gut and jailed me and threatened me with an eternal marriage and baby-making duties. I mean, sure, she was brainwashed when she did all of that, but I'm sure I did some stuff to deserve it. Dirk is still way off somewhere, and I can't address that whole spicy meatball, which I still feel terrible about. And Roxy... Well, okay, Roxy is right there, but look at her, she's having a blast with all these people she actually really likes, and who probably are actually likable. She probably wants nothing to do with me either, so I might as well do her the courtesy of leaving her alone.
But, isn't she, waving at you and saying hello right now? Due, almost certainly to overhearing you talking about her name.
Hi, Jack. Oh, yeah. It would seem she is. Those are probably pity waves, though.
I don't think that's true. I've been the getter almost exclusively of the pity versions of various deeds directed at me, and, I think that's not what she's doing. Those are normal waves in the lows. She'd probably do one of those things back to her.
Hi, Jack. Jack! Jack, damn it. Hi! Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, Roxy. You're with us again, and I like that. Smile.
Nice, bro. Keep working at behaviors of that sort and your self-esteem will get bigger.
I like that. Thunderations, what a fucking clod I am. I really need to keep a lower profile. Even basic pleasantries are a bit above my huckleberry for now.
I get it. Self-esteem's probably the hardest emotion to master. Helps to have help.
And I appreciate it, Mr. Tavro Sprite, I really do.
No, I mean, not from me. Do you have a fantasy phantom representing your self-esteem who you can look up to?
A phantom?
Because I did once and it really helped me. Then he became real and really helped me. But not because of believing or anything. Just because of coincidence. He happened to be my ancestor.
Yeah. Are we gonna retcon Jake being the biggest asshole out of existence? That would be nice.
Well, yes, I suppose I have something like that. A brain ghost of my friend Dirk who visits me sometimes. I guess he represents my self-esteem, but I don't know how helpful he actually is.
Why?
Because of all the consternation that my relationship with real Dirk has caused me. He says all the right things to make me feel better about myself, but when he visits my brain, I never actually feel that comfortable or good about myself. I just feel kind of weird. I truthfully spend most of the time hoping he just goes away, and he probably knows that too because he's in my brain and it makes me feel weirder.
I see. Your brain is complicated then. I'm guessing it's because you're some sort of genius.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. I have a sense for these things.
Gosh.
Maybe instead of listening to the upsetting words of a complicated brain ghost, what a brilliant mind like you needs is something simpler. Like listening to the nice and flattering words of a real friend. Smile.
Maybe you're right.
Not related to that, have I mentioned you're actually quite handsome for a human?
Wow, you think?
Also, you have a dashing personality. You seem really strong, and your very small pair of creamy-looking pants are really cool.
Holy cow! You're right, Tavro Sprite. Those nice observations about me. Why, they really do seem to be making me feel at least infinitesimally better about myself. What a chum!
That's only the beginning of the feel-good feelings you can force inside of you. Through the repetitive mentioning of such things about you, but also through developing yourself as a brave, alive hero. It's too late for me to do that, since I lived a weak life, died, and was lucky enough to have a friend with a good enough heart to bring me back, but only as a spiritual guide, such as the one floating before you. So I can't be that heroically great anymore, by tragic definition, but you can. You're living, strong, nice, and even higher importance, immortal. So that gives you, by my estimation, literally forever to get better and better and better and finally prove yourself. That way you can win your friends over and everybody will like you again.
Boy shitting howdy! Just imagine, from hobbledehoy to hero. Wouldn't that spiffy predicament just razz my berries? Tavros, would you leave that poor kid alone? What sort of nonsense are you telling him?
Nothing.
Oh, bullshit. You're filling his head with lies, aren't you?
No, it's just a basic conversation, not about any topics. You're probably gonna say you disapprove of.
Yeah. Hey, kid, what's he telling you? What's your name again? Jape? Yes, sure.
No, it's not Jape. Wrong.
Who even cares? Your overly simplistic human names all sound so alike to me.
So true.
Anyways, listen, Jape. Whatever load of shit he's selling you in a misguided effort to cheer you up, don't listen to him. It's all a bunch of sappy delusional garbage. I'm not going to let you down easy, and someday you'll realize this is the greatest favor anyone's ever done for you. You're never going to do anything important, and you'll never amount to anything, period. Neither will Tavros.
Wait, no. Now, hold on.
No, you hold on, Tavros. You had more than enough chances to prove you could be a relevant contributor to our adventure, but you blew it every step of the way. It's time to face the facts. You're never going to have that big moment that vindicates your arc of personal development. It's just not going to happen.
No, I know that. I just admitted that. You weren't listening to her.
It's not going to happen for Jape here, either. So stop filling his head with nonsense. I can just smell it off him. He's just like you, really. A loser is a loser. Here's the bottom line. Pages just suck. All of them do. Just can't ever seem to get it together. I think it just happens to be the class players get stuck with if they're naturally that sort of person. It doesn't mean they don't have value as people, but they'll just never do anything significant to contribute, so they really should just stay out of the way. There's a certain quiet dignity in understanding your utterly crippling limitations as an individual. Ideally, a very quiet dignity, so the important people can still hear themselves think.
Okay, but, what about all that big page potential?
That's also a lot of misleading horseshit, and really kind of a cruel stipulation of the class, to be honest. It makes losers think there's actually some light at the end of a long tunnel, so it keeps them dreaming instead of facing the facts. Sure, they could reach all that potential if they worked really hard for a long time, but don't you get it? The very nature of who they are prohibits that, because they don't have what it takes to stick it out to the end, because they're too weak mentally. It's just a game playing a nasty joke on them, like dangling a carrot at the end of a ridiculously long stick. Only an asshole would knowingly play along with such a vicious hoax.
Wow. Old Vriska's back. Thank goodness.
No! Any form of friendship encouragement, no matter what, is universally great, I think. We all learn from this as fact, from lots of things we see and enjoy in stories and stuff.
Oh my fucking god.
No, Tavros, right? She's right. She's right.
Vriska, look what you did. You made my friend Jape sad. Don't listen to her. Come here, buddy, for a reassuring embrace.
Tavros, don't fucking touch him! Remember, you've only been prototyped once. Do you really want to fuse into an eternal monstrosity with that weenie? God, what a weenie singularity that would be. Maybe I could stand back and let it happen. For science. Also, it would serve you right.
Oh, yeah? Well, get a load of this. Actually, no, you're right, of course. I won't hug him because that sounds really, really bad. Sorry, Jape.
Tavros, you know his name. Alright, I'll roll another one. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, another Vriska. Good, because my Vriska voice is working pretty well right now. I lost it for a bit with Arania, but I got it back now that she's gone. Thank goodness. Karkat, Kanaya, and Vriska. This could only be good.
How's it going over there? I told them I would leave them alone and go talk to some trolls. I guess this troll over here will have to do. Happy to be of service. Man, look at them. They all seem so excited. Like a bunch of wigglers hopped up on high fructose grub sauce. I hope they don't crash from this reunion buzz too hard before it's showtime. If they do, I am sure one of your contingency plans will swing into full effect. Maybe you can buy time for everyone to recover by lulling our adversaries into an extensive strategy session. Hey, Miriam, why don't you can it? Our sassy little games of one-upsmanship are fun and all, but I'm trying to be sincere here. You know, seeing as this is the last time I'll see you all in a while. You're right, sorry. Bring on the sincerity. I was just saying about the humans. They all look so happy. I mean, look at Rose. No offense, but most of the time she's kind of a pill. None taken, and me too, probably. Good point. But I don't think I've ever seen her like that. By which I mean, making no discernible effort whatsoever to disguise the fact that she's happy. Well, okay. Maybe there were a couple of times. Is that in reference to how you like to fragrantly spy on us sometimes? I don't spy on you. That is such an unfair characterization. Would you can it with that shit already? I'll never understand your ongoing and apparently unironic use of the phrase can it, and in particular why you always seem to direct this expression to me, and seemingly no one else. I just think it is such a peculiar and amusing way to tell someone to be quiet. What? Why? No, that's a normal way of putting it. I mean, it's a pretty normal thing to say, right? When you want someone to pipe down. Pipe down isn't even much better. It's just a funny thing to say, and the fact that you don't realize that makes it funnier.
I think the underlying explanation is that you are just funnier than you realize or try to be. It is something I like about you. I guess I'll have to accept your sass as a compliment then. And no, I don't spy on you. I just check in with you sometimes, just to see how you're doing. Okay, if that's how you want to put it. You involve yourself in many private matters without even offering the pretense of doing otherwise. To think that at one point I was regarded as the meddlesome one. Look, it just so happens that I care very deeply for all of my friends, and I want to make sure they're doing all right on a somewhat regular basis. Is that a crime? In some societies, violating the privacy of others in certain ways, yes, I believe it is. I understand your motives, though, and really this is just me giving you a hard time. I never got why everyone treats their romantic affairs as so private. What's the big deal? So you like to do some smooching and stuff with another person. Maybe get over yourselves? Karkat was the worst offender. You think he was charged with guarding state secrets? Newsflash, buddy. Nobody gives a fuck. It sounds like you very much do give a fuck, though. Hey, why don't you cut me some slack. I don't hold anyone to standards I don't hold myself to. I'm very open about my relationships, my moral allegiance with Terezi. Ask me anything. I have nothing to hide. We'll throw our diamonds up in your face like we're making a getaway. We don't even give a fuck. If you can't take the stench, then get out of the meal block. Same with any ashen liaisons I've been involved with over the years. What's the big deal? I have to admit to being impressed with your strangely natural proficiency with auspitism. It is an incredibly difficult quadrant to master, and very emotionally taxing, I find, in a way that conflicts with the pursuit of relationships in other quadrants. I can't ignore that during our trip you probably diffused a lot of unpleasant situations before they started, but when it comes to matters of privacy and such, and which forms of expression people feel at ease showing in public, pair relationships are really different, I think. What about the other kind? Seems to me you have not been involved in any, so I'm not sure you really understand. I just don't have the time for anything like that in my life right now. Red and black relationships are so absorbing. I have a strong pale relationship, which is very important to me. But that's about all I can handle. Maybe later when the dust settles from this crazy adventure, I'll consider it. But for now, this is all I can deal with. I just have so many irons in the fire, you know. The irons are back in the fire. Thank God. Okay. I know all about the irons. I have heard rumors of this alleged fire as well. So, what are they talking about? What? All your buddies over there. We were still talking about that. It's ridiculous how easily we all get sidetracked by romantic blither. Oh, family stuff mainly. It's pretty fascinating. Sociologically speaking, I mean. Their idea of families, the idea of siblings is strange enough. People who are genetically similar and grow up together. Spending all that time with Dave and Rose, you started getting a sense for it. Like, the logic of it, how it must have shaped their society, but also its inherent ridiculousness. Sharing a residence with your near clone while growing up? So preposterous. But then you add the idea of parents, and suddenly it's complete madness. Our society was so individualistic, and that all seems so normal and reasonable. So I look over there and see those two Lalondes and a Strider, and there's a whole other Strider on the way, and a human family starts striking me as not so much of a social unit as much as a infestation. Yes, well, I will say an entire other Strider does sound like a bit much, on top of what is already quite a spectacle. Maybe we just do not get it. Of course we don't. That's my point. I mean, we have ancestors, but under normal circumstances, it's pretty much unheard of to imagine you'd get a chance to meet them. We had the unusual privilege of meeting most of ours, or at least certain versions of them, but that's still just a one-person lineage. It's really simple and comprehensible. Human lineage is just a huge clusterfuck, if you ask me. There is a certain advantage to it, though. Their decentralized propagation makes it a lot more likely their race will persist. The same cannot be said for ours. I still often wonder if we are the last of our kind. You're still doubtful about whether you can hatch a new mother grub? Yes, more than doubtful, I'd say. You shouldn't lose faith. I'm not even the slightest bit worried about whether you can do it. When you get the chance, just brainstorm about it with the Lalondes. They tend to be full of ideas. Anyway, try not to get down about it. I have a good feeling.
Get down about what?
A particular obligation I have yet to fulfill. I sense she possesses some intelligence on the matter she wishes to be cagey about, so I guess that part of the conversation has been concluded.
Obligation? Frisk, have you been dishing more dirt on our strategy before formally bringing our meeting back to order? Pretty sloppy leadership move if you ask me.
Karkat, it has nothing to do with your and Kanaya's upcoming roles in the campaign. It was more a private matter pertaining to Kanaya's broader significance to the future of our people. I'll be very clearly spelling out the roles you and she will play momentarily.
Me and she? As in, like, together?
Karkat has now moved closer to them because I don't want to do the echoey voice thing.
What the fuck are we supposed to be doing together?
You'll find out.
Great! I'm so glad! At this point, I only ever feel angst or even the slightest sense of agitation in my soul to the precise extent that I worry Friska might not have all of our fortunes completely mapped out already. I'm beginning to hyperventilate slightly. Less just thinking about it.
Good to hear, Karkat. Almost as cool as it is to see you yelled yourself out with John and Dave already, and have decided to come clock in some yelling time with us. Your ability to dig deep down and find a second wind is really quite astonishing. I shudder to think of what would happen if this party if we ran out of its most precious natural resource. Can you imagine if he god tier?
Burned! Owned! Devastated. What more is there to say? Nothing really, unless you want whatever pitiful tatters of your self-image you have left to get power pissed on by God Queen Cirquette herself yet again. Either that, or one could ruminate fondly over the heavenly ret-forked reality wherein she was stabbed in the back by her Morail, and we all got to live on the fucking bliss that timeline must have been. Just think of all the peace and quiet we would have had on that meteor. It was probably more than worth the price of cannonballing ass first in some sort of massacre trap. Friska Cirquette, making the living envy the hypothetical dead since, whenever it was she started doing that.
Way to stick the landing on that barb, genius. I appreciate that you're just moseying over to arbitrarily drum up some utterly meaningless contention between us, but it's like I've said before many times, Karkat. I'm just not interested.
Ouch! Slaughtered again. Don't listen to her, Kanaya. It's like this running gag she does all the time to own me.
What?
It's this funny thing we do, or mainly she does, always implying that I've been spades crushing on her and getting shut down, and it never stops being hilarious. First of all, as if she can prove anything. Second, if we're being totally fair here, more than a few of her snappy comebacks are arguably more tinged with that sort of eyebrow-cocking hostility than anything I've ever said to her. Maybe makes one a little suspicious, no? That maybe there's some projection going on here, just saying.
All right, Karkat. I'm going to leave you here to dig yourself into whatever embarrassing hole you seem intent on digging. I'm going to keep working on the crowd a bit. As you know, a leader's job is never done. See ya.
Bye! Maybe try acting a little more gracious in defeat next time. Just a little advice from one leader to another.
She's gone. I think you needed to come up with that comeback a little faster.
Yeah, damn.
I think as a friend it would behoove me to, confide somewhat about the realities of pursuing anything with her.
Wait. What? Kanaya, you weren't taking that pathetic, jokey, unrequited blackram stuff seriously, were you?
Let us imagine that my attitude toward the joking or non-joking status of that is perfectly neutral. Well, I just say these things. Aside from the fact that she literally just got finished telling me she wasn't interested in any non-pale relationships, I think that would be a blind alley regardless. I admit this from experience, and not without chagrined hesitation, but only frustration and heartbreak are down that road.
Oh?
She's turned out to be a tremendous partner in pale relationships, maybe even, a bit freakishly so. But anything stronger than that I think would probably be disastrous. She is way too focused and self-absorbed to maintain such strong feelings for long. She would need to learn to let go of some of her ambition and figure out how to prioritize the feelings of another person. She might even figure out how to be happy.
Yeah, wow. The chill just ran up my posture pole trying to imagine that. You know, I don't know if I've ever told you, but I have a really impressive grasp over romantic analysis.
Well, I have read a lot of novels, too. I just don't brag so much about it, because it would literally be preposterous to do so.
We should be jamming on the subject more. Maybe explore some of my more advanced theories. We're surrounded by amateurs in this field, so it gets a bit frustrating. But once the mayor's... the mayor's a good sounding board at least, when I want to bounce off some more of my out there ideas off someone.
Why don't we schedule an academic conference sometime? Just you, me, and the mayor.
Oh, fuck yes! Finally! Maybe this is the good timeline.
Alright, next number. Oh, 5. Well, just one back. It's time for the family reunion. Oh, boy. Oh, Asa Kanaya's here. She's not going to speak, though, I guess. Because she wasn't... Nope, she's going to speak. She wasn't in the amount of symbols there, but whatever. Dave, we were sort of in the middle of something here.
In the middle of what?
A series of heartfelt conversations of a personal nature.
Oh. Guess I'm in the middle of those now, too. I'm feeling heartfelt as fuck. Somebody bone me up on this shit.
One cannot simply be boned up on shit such as this. You had to be there.
Come on.
Wizards, problems, feelings. It was your standard tale of two estranged mutual mothers. Any questions?
Yeah, lots.
Okay. Can you maybe sit over there for a while and write them all down? Rose, this accumulation of people is coming dangerously close to what your culture might process as a human familial unit. This is a foreign idea to me, and probably a private matter to you, so I think I will leave you alone to go talk to some trolls. Personally, I think you should welcome Dave into the fold of your poignant wizard reverie. From my cultural point of view, at least, he has as much claim to your sense of ancestral connection to your mother as you. See you, everybody.
Yeah, man, Kanaya to the rescue with smart shit to say as usual.
Utterly destroyed again by her superior sense of reason and decorum. Though I do wonder if her perspective would be different if she'd ever had to manage relations with a twin brother.
Okay, but who cares about that? So, Rose, it's our mom. Hey, Mom.
Hi.
Well, not Mom. Your actual name instead of that, I guess. Roxy, I think?
You'll think right. Mom's okay too, though.
I don't know. That might get weird. Calling you that all the time? Rose, that would probably get weird, right?
It would probably get a little weird.
So, Mom, I'm just gonna jump into the fucking frying pan here. Like, tape off a no bullshit zone for a while, if that's okay.
A frying pan in a no bullshit zone? Sounds intense. Who's manning this pan, and who gave him clearance for the no BS zone?
Captain Sirius is at the pan, and he got the go-ahead from Lieutenant Doesn't Fuck Around to the Heart Attack Armada.
Isn't Lieutenant a lower rank than Captain? Who put this dude in charge of such an important pan?
I don't know, maybe it is. Okay, like, it's cool that you even know that fact, but this is exactly the kind of fuckery the no BS zone doesn't cotton to, no matter what sort of cookware is involved, or which pseudo-military organization regulates its borders. I just have some questions about you and stuff in general, so rather than mumble through a conversation that sounds mostly like the stuff we literally just got done saying, sweet though it would be, I'm gonna machine gun some shit at you, lightning round style.
A machine gun lightning round in a frying pan? God damn!
I know, right? So, you're my biological mother.
Yes.
And Rose's.
Yes.
And therefore bear at least partial and, like, biologically incidental responsibility for why we're both so fucked up.
Yes.
But you yourself are a paradox clone.
I guess?
Which means you didn't have bio-parents. You originated from yourself.
Guess so.
So you really don't have anyone to blame for who you are, except weirdly and paradoxically yourself?
Yes? Dave.
Wait, okay. Sorry if that sounded rude. I didn't mean it, like, rudely. I mean, you did have a parental figure who I guess you model yourself after in a way, or influenced by, I mean. An old version of Rose from, like, a long time ago.
Yes,
My bro was the same way, or, your friend, I mean.
Dirk.
He was like a paradox clone of himself, and he, like, did kind of the same thing, modeled himself after... Why do we not talk about Dirk? Can we change the subject?
You were the one who brought him up.
I know. Look, I bring up a lot of things. And then have to backtrack a lot of those things I bring up. Because sometimes the things I bring up are ill-advised to say and just make people uncomfortable, or even make me uncomfortable. It's just a thing about me.
Oh, I just thought a thought. Do you get to do a lightning round? Do I get to do a lightning round at you next?
I guess so, yeah. Depends on if you want to keep sitting in this goddamn pan.
I don't know. Maybe our asses are getting too hot.
Maybe you should speak for yourself.
Dave!
Shit!
Well,
No, Mom, look. Roxy, I mean. It's just like I was saying. I just say things. It is just like this. Force of nature. No one can control or even try to, least of all me. We just have to cross our fingers and hope for the best. And that my one-man verbal slapstick routine isn't too Freudian in nature. Or at least not that often. Anyway, let's pretend I didn't just insinuate you have a hot ass and move on.
wonk.
I heard something about wizards? You hells into wizards like Rose?
Yes!
Okay, well, that is a predictable if somewhat bland fact. Let's see if we can dig a little deeper. Don't get me wrong, wizards are like, okay, I guess.
Oh yeah? Well, maybe you're just okay, I guess.
Yeah, I'm alright. Wizards are better at magic than me, but I'm better than wizards at rap, so I guess it breaks even. Or it would if I was a pretend jackass in silly robes and a dumb beard. So point goes to Dave. Do you like rap?
Kinda. Dirk loves rap, so I, Never mind. Forgot we weren't talking about that.
Well, what do you like to do?
I like... cats!
Okay, that's a fair opinion, but cats aren't actually like an activity or anything.
They kinda were for me, though. I used to clone them. I may have, gotten a little carried away.
Cat cloning, huh? Sounds like a pretty dope hobby. I think we're getting somewhere here. So you had access to that kind of stuff because you lived in a sci-fi world.
A sci-fi world?
Yeah, the future. What was the future like?
Watery, full of chess people, lots of pumpkins. You know, usual dystopian stuff.
I see. And it was just the chess guys and you, like, alone. No other people except for Bro, who I guess was, like, way off somewhere?
Yup.
Wrong voice.
Yep.
Sounds like, kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I talk to my friends a lot, though, via computers and shit.
That's cool. Me too. Maybe when it comes down to it, our lives weren't really that different. Except for the extinction of humanity part. My humans were just, imminently extinct is all. I didn't actually have chess guys around, though. They're actually good company.
Yeah.
My best friend is a chess guy. He's the mayor. I have to introduce you to him soon. You're gonna love the mayor. Everybody loves the mayor.
I want to meet the mayor.
Don't worry, I'll put in a good word for you. I'm pretty sure we can find an opening in his schedule. Tell me more.
More?
About you.
Damn, dude, this frying pan. Shit be sizzling.
Fuck yeah. Aside from cat breeding, how else did you pass the time?
Writing? A fair amount of, let's say recreational liquid intake. And, hacking.
Seriously? Like actual hacking?
Yeah. Well, computer programming, really. Hacking is just what you call it to sound cool. There wasn't even much shit around to hack.
So kind of like John, except I think he pretty much sucked at his code.
Really?
Yeah, I seem to find it frustrating mainly. His bitching about it is literally my only point of reference to his degree of proficiency. You're, good though, right? I bet you're good.
The best.
I knew it.
Maybe I could give him some pointers on the leet hacks.
Elite hacks, nice.
Fuck yes, he'd be all about that. Or I think he should be, which is all that matters. Do that and insist on it if he gets weirdly obstinate or, like, tries to pretend he doesn't like programming anymore.
Okay. Thumbs up, I'll do that.
What else?
I don't know, Dave. I might be running out of shit to say.
You sure?
I like to play games.
What games?
Mostly the Nintendos.
I see. Which Nintendos?
A whole bunch of Nintendos. Like lots of different systems and titles. I don't know if the ones I associate strongly with would have the same meaning, like culturally speaking for you. Because to me they were all like cool ancient relics that kept me somewhat in touch with a world that was long gone.
That makes sense. That's mostly the relationship I have now with garbage rom-coms. Largely because Carcat likes watching them. So these godforsaken flicks have helped keep me grounded in our dead civilization in a weird way. But RE games, I didn't have Nintendos. My bro had Xbox, so I played that sometimes. But he mostly had all these shitty skating games and like 20 different Tony Hawk titles. I mainly just play them to fuck around, like find spectacular ways to crash and flop around like a douchey ragdoll, or figure out ways to get halfway stuck inside concrete fixtures and obstacles, and watch all these cool fratty bros twitch and flop ad infinitum, like struggling valiantly and earnestly forever against the shitty and deeply flawed physics of their confining virtual prison. I saw them as tragic figures.
That sounds incredible, to be honest.
Pretty much.
Do you think we can play games together sometime? Want to see our majestic skate bros in their element.
Oh my dick, yes.
Dave.
What?
Okay. I think it's my turn. Keep your ass in the pan, buddy. You're gonna get grilled.
That's fair.
Oh, Rose, please don't think I'm excluding you. Jump in the convo any time, Kay?
Ugh, she's fine.
Wait. I'm perfectly happy serving as a spectator and occasional officiator of this conversation. It's quite entertaining to behold, really. I love watching how different personalities collide with each other upon meeting. Neither of you is failing to disappoint. LMAO, God, is everyone in this family tree a psychoanalyst?
Yo, that's been like her exact top preoccupation since she was a fucking baby. Didn't she tell you?
No, but yeah, that makes sense. But like, you're all Mr. Funny Interrogation right now. Rose is quite possibly a literal therapist in training, I guess. And, Dirk is Dirk. Just makes you think is all.
We're all fucked up. The end. So what do you want to know, Mom? Rocks.
My little grabby hands. Here comes the lightning. You got to imagine it coming out of my fingertips, wherein I am an almighty wizard.
Okay, currently imagining that. Huh, not bad at all.
Pachoo! What is your favorite rap guy?
That's a dead tie between me and Snoop. Okay, maybe Obama, but to be fair, I don't think he raps IRL. That's mainly just a headcanon I have about him. But come on, you weren't actually curious about that, were you?
Trying to think of stuff to ask, jeez. Give me a sec. Okay, how did you become a god tier?
Rose and I went on a suicide mission piloting a moon through the furthest ring. The moon had this cosmic mega-nuclear bomb in its core, but also our quest beds, by surprise. When it blew up, it created literally the biggest fucking sun in existence, which also happened to be the exact same sun we thought we were going out there to destroy. But we also died and resurrected as god tiers, and I guess due to immortality rose up through the surface of the fucking sun, all glowing green and wearing pajamas and shit.
Holy crap! That is so ridiculously insane and cool! And so much more awesome than anything that happened to us, wow!
Why? How did you do it?
God, it's almost embarrassing to even describe, especially compared to that.
Go on.
We all had this hangover from magic candy, and we woke up on our god slabs, and talked for a while. Have you ever seen The Breakfast Club?
No.
Okay, well, it was like that, but probably shittier. Then we all sort of randomly died on accident due to surprise villain attacks.
That sounds alright. Who even cares about having a baller origin story? We were just chumps on a moon being melodramatic, and in the process of getting chumped by an omniscient creep. Your outfit looks cool, at least.
Thanks. Okay, then, next. Have you ever kissed anybody?
What? Man, these questions are taking a different tenor than the ones I asked you.
Well...
Okay, I was kissed by Jade when I was dead, so that I'd come back to life. That was right before the moon mission I just mentioned.
Oh yeah, I was corpse smooched once too.
By who?
Gulp. Hey, it's still lightning round. I was asking if you ever kissed somebody, awaken a life on purpose.
Man.
We're waiting, Dave.
Hey, I thought you were just studying us.
I'm also officiating. I'll have to hold you to the question or throw a flag. Remember the sports? My, how quickly we forget the sports.
No, come on. I just asked you about Nintendo and shit.
Okay. Do you like drawing?
Yeah.
Comics?
Yeah.
Funny comics?
Fuck yes.
About fat-ass idiots and JPEG trash loss everywhere?
Fucking yes.
Okay, I'll admit, I have you at a little disadvantage since I know some things about your future grown-up self.
Like what?
I don't want to spoil it. Maybe there's a better time for that conversation. And maybe a better person to have it with than me. Do you like orange soda?
No.
No?
Hell no.
Then what's your poison?
AJ.
Huh?
Apple juice.
That's fucking cute.
Pretty much.
Have you ever been in love?
God damn it.
This is the lightning round, Dave. I didn't even realize Rose's face. Like, what the hell is she doing? She's like turned herself into a worm and is making this face somehow. This is a good panel. It's the lightning round, Dave. We didn't make the rules. Anyway, I'm ready to blow my referee sports whistle TM if you don't answer before the commercially endorsed game clock expires.
I think the lightning round's over. Why don't we have a distraction to seal the deal? Hey, Mom, I think Harley Dad over there's talking about you.
Jake? Yeah, I think you're right. Gotta go catch up with him soon. I'll wave hello for now.
Don't think he's noticing.
Damn it, Jake. Look over here, you goof. Gonna start a fire here with all this friendly waving.
Nope, he's like completely out to lunch. Just like all the Harley Berts.
Hi, Jake! Jake, damn it, hi! Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, Roxy. You're with us again, and I like that.
That's it. He's right back at it with that bull guy. What's with him? He reminds me a lot of John, but really quiet, which is very un-Johnish.
Jake's great. But yeah, he's not like us all the time. He's pretty gregarious one-on-one, but I guess he doesn't like crowds much. He became sort of a hermit after a few months in our session. He mainly hung out with Dirk until he eventually sort of shut him out too. Dude just likes getting lonesome at time, I guess.
I'll try getting to know him sometime. Maybe trap him like a shy woodland creature, then brutally harangue him with my typically rad shit and become airtight bros. Right there in the fucking woods, exactly how nature intended.
Oh my god, yes! I will help you rig your Jake snares. Maybe leave some hunky dude bait, like a trail of micro shorts sprinkled through the forest.
Awesome, thanks, Mom. Roxy, I mean.
Dave, even I'm having less trouble referring to Roxy by her name consistently, and I was the one who grew up knowing her as my literal mother. What's going on with you?
Nothing. It's just like semi-accidentally replacing a word with another word in a majority of instances. Why do you need to read into things, into everything?
You're right. How could anyone possibly read anything into that sort of repeated slip-up?
Exactly.
And what if you're making her uncomfortable? That's fine, really. I think it's sort of endearing.
See, Rose, y'all worrying about nothing as usual. Mom's fine with it. Moxie. I mean, Rami. Mommy. Oh, fuck. Okay, that one was fucked up. Let's make sure I never fucking say that again.
I'm dying here. Dave, stop it. I'm asphyxiate.
I can't. It's like I was saying before. It's like a force of nature we all gotta just deal with. Strider blurtscapades. Dave's flying boner circus. The shit's immutable. I had to face this fact a long time ago. I can either try to change that part of myself, which is an unwinnable war, or I could try focusing on being like a vaguely half-decent person, so at least the shit I inevitably blurt out from deep down isn't all that bad, because the bad stuff's been, and is still being, purged through an arduous long-term process of complete and utter humiliation.
Man, arduous long-term process of complete and utter humiliation is basically my stake. Anyways, you are a silly dude, and it's okay if you keep calling me Mom on accident. I hope it's similarly okay with you if I ever make the conscious decision to refrain from calling you that ever. Unlike Dave, I've taken great pride in the meticulous maintenance of my internal filter. I don't think I have the same luxury he does. Humiliation just makes my demons angrier. Yeah, Rose, call me whatever. But, LMAO, you're gotta making it sound a legit scary.
It's fucked up she's joking, but also not even really. You'll figure out how to crack her deadpan riddles. Ugh, there's an art to it.
You guys, you are friggin' psychobabble. And you're friggin' psychobabble. It's a riot. Suddenly feeling like maybe I'm the weak link in this family tree on the analytical front. Need to step up my game. To be fair, Dave's game is pretty flimsy. He's been jacking my swagger for years. He only pulls it off because he's funny. And to be even fairer, I'm not actually much of a psychoanalyst. I just know enough to know that I barely know anything, and probably would have benefited from, I don't know, college or something. Okay, phew, I feel a little less lame then. I remember Dirk's insane scrutinization of all things cerebral had a similar way of dwarfing one's ego. Maybe that was smoke and mirrors too, I don't know. Maybe since he and I are your parents in terms of mad skills, he's got all genes and I got none. So that means Dave got some genes and Rose got lots? Wherein some is more than none and lots is less than all? That is quite a scientific way of looking at it. Maybe it's even true. Yes! I fucking love science!
Okay, that explains everything.
What?
If you got all the science genes, that means some scraped off on me, which would explain why my beats are so ill. It's because my science is off the charts.
Holy shit. Can someone come push this nerd off the lily pad? That explanation, though. Cries. Cringeworthy rap notwithstanding, I do recall hearing him babble about wanting to be a scientist on more than one occasion. If the world hadn't ended. What was it? Archaeology? Paleontology?
Yeah, I don't know, one of those things. Whichever involved more dead shit, maybe.
Paleontology! You wanted to study that?
I sincerely mumbled about the idea once or twice, sure.
That's neat. What about you, Rose? Did you actually want to be a legit psychiatrist and go to school for that and all? I don't recall my thoughts on higher education. My passion for the subject, I think, was more a contrivance of a very young girl, which misplaced conviction in her abilities. I probably thought I could just figure it all out myself and skip the academic coronation. I don't think much about it anymore. Possibly because there's no one left to analyze except for the modest population of this frog disc. What would you want to do with your life instead? I mean, assuming there were no evildoers to worry about. I don't know. What is there even to consider doing with godhood but concern oneself with evildoers?
What about your quest? The shit with your planet and the rain and stuff, wasn't there still something to do there?
I guess so. Yeah, I did mine, or at least a version of it specific to my situation. I get the feeling they change around and such depending on the lay of the land and such. My reality was fucked, so my dungeon just kind of rerouted me. Nothing too fancy.
Yeah, exactly. I had this really stilted, mashup of what I assume my real quest was, involving breaking a sword and then unbreaking a sword, and a fucking bird was involved, and then the bird unceremoniously died somewhere. It's kind of a mess. Like me, I guess, so maybe that makes sense. Who knows what yours would have had in store for you now? I mean, if you even wanted to bother.
I'm not sure if I have the inclination, and realistically, there isn't even much time for that, is there? We're supposed to be fighting adversaries imminently. I can't squeeze it in before the battle. And after, we'll supposedly have won. So what would even be the point of doing it then? Something always rubbed me the wrong way about my quest. I don't even like the phrase. It's uncomfortably formal, and I think a little foreboding. The regimentation of it all always struck me as unpalatable, like consigning personal growth to the completion of a glorified myth-heavy rat maze.
Yeah, I know why you feel that way. You got big problems with authority. You always have, and you probably wouldn't even put it that way because it sounds really teen of you and gauche or whatever. But it's true.
Oh my god. God, you guys and your shrink bubble. You're so funny, I swear to God.
Yeah, here we go again, right? Except just remember, I'm a fraud at this stuff. Except in the particular case where I'm totally right. She sees this as a quest all neatly laid out for her wrapped in a bow. Fuck, even looks like it's made for little kids with pink turtles and rainbows and shit. Here you go, princess, it's baby's first quest. Almost like it was designed to piss her off. Spurb says, here, self-improvement, delineated and made comprehensible. Enjoy your cookie, cutter odyssey. So because she's Rose, she goes, fuck no, my quest. Literally starts wrecking shit. And maybe that itself was her quest all along.
If I might interject.
Oh, awesome. Vriska was eavesdropping.
Not for very long. I just heard you talking about Rose's quest is all. I don't have any opinion on whether you do it or not. Rose, that's your business. But my advice is, if you see your denizen, just make sure you kill her fast.
What?
Believe me, Cetus is a huge bitch. If you give her an inch, she'll try to sucker you into a whole boring conversation, mostly involving a bunch of curmudgeonly riddles. So don't give her the chance. Just go for the jugular and end it as soon as you can. Grab her loot and call it a day. That's what I think, at least. Assuming you bother going through with it at all. Couldn't really blame you if you didn't, though. I probably won't.
Rose Sprite.
Won't what? Oh, now what the fuck is this? Meow.
Rose Sprite?
Ha?
I guess the dead Rose body from the other universe. Jasper's maybe put it in a Sprite. This is okay.
Fricklish! Oh my god, you cheeky bastard! Oh my god!
What exactly the fuck?
Fricklish, I cannot believe this! You dug up her body? Meow. Oh my god, that is so bad! But also sweet of you to bring her back, but also wow, bad! Wait, dug up? I'm a little unclear on that myself. Jasper's hasn't been especially descriptive. Meow. Yes, both Roses, I dug you up. From where? John's planet. Remember that funeral I mentioned? Fricklish was there too. Or, Jasper's? Or the departed beautiful idiot cat. Haha, guess I made a novice mistake. Turned my back on the body. You had a funeral for me? That was nice of you. Yeah, so, hi. Wow, this is confusing. Welcome back, you're alive again. Hey, come here. Lalon, don't you fucking touch her. Fucking incredible. Am I the only one here concerned with making sure we don't create freakish mutant people combos? What? She's only been single prototyped. Don't go near her. Oh, right. It is absolutely astounding how much you all need me around to keep your shit straight. Even then, it's a constant uphill battle to keep you all from fucking up. I let my guard down for 1 second, and this brainless animal wastes one of your precious resurrection slots on someone who's already alive. Well, congratulations. You're down to 1 empty kernel. Be sure to use it wisely. Not that there's much hope of that at this point. See you chumps, I'm into this conversation.
Don't look at me like that.
So, what does this even mean? There's like 2 Roses now? What the fuck? What are we supposed to do with this information and unfolding set of circumstances?
I don't know, Dave. I have advanced seer powers and the newly acquired insight of a mystical guide, and even I'm stumped about this turn of events.
Okay, then. Good to know I'm not dumb and this literally is inherently irrational. Thanks, Ghost Cat. Great job.
Meow, 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 meow.
So what now?
Well, it's nice to be back after such a spectacular sequence of tragic events, even though I have no memory of having been gone for long. But I also understand I am now the subordinate Rose, so with respect to my ongoing role, I will have to defer to real Rose. I don't want to step on anyone's toes. Then again, I don't have feet anymore. Wall! It's also worth pointing out that my programming as a sprite informs me that I exist at the pleasure of the player who released my kernel. So, Roxy, what do you think I should do? Wow, I don't know. Man, I only just met a live Rose here. And that was just after burying you and saying goodbye and all that emotional stuff. Now you're back because of a silly cat. And I don't know, I'm confused. Rose, what do you think? Rose? Yo, Rose, hello? This is stupid. I'm sorry. I can't sit here and pretend to take this seriously.
Oh, Rose, you okay?
I guess so. Yes, I'm fine. This is all just so dumb. My powers let me see fortuitous outcomes, but I didn't see this coming at all. Doesn't register as fortuitous or otherwise. You know why? Because it's completely meaningless.
I mean, sure. I thought so too when Bird Dave happened, but that thing turned out to be like a whole thing. And important stuff happened as a result. Kinda.
No, this isn't like that. Trust me, Dave. I'm not grasping at straws here. My abilities tend not to leave such things to speculation. This development makes absolutely no sense. Not for us as a group, and definitely not for me personally, or her for that matter. How could this possibly mean anything for my growth or personal development in any way? This almost makes it official. I have no comprehensible path. There's nothing to overcome, no lesson to learn, no cathartic light at the end of this preposterous tunnel. Not for me, at least. I seriously have the dumbest arc anyone could conceivably imagine.
Rose, we don't have fucking arcs. We're just human beings.
Dave tries to, like, say something profound, and I'm like, nope, you are... I care about Rose's arc, okay? I've complained about it before, and I won't take this as an answer. I can't believe we have Rose Sprite. So are we also going to get, like, John Sprite? Or maybe we'll get Dave Sprite. Except we don't have dead Dave's body from the other universe, so I don't know how that would happen, but... would be funny. Also, this episode went way long, but like the Strider-Lalonde conversation was just extraordinarily lengthy. I couldn't just stop in the middle of it. Anyway, we're done now. We only got 3 done today, and there are 8. 3 episodes, I called it. Question of the day for today. I've already used up all the good ones for this situation. Like, oh, which 2 characters would you have to pair up for a conversation? Blah, blah, blah. And, like, all the Sprite-related questions are already done. I mean, I've done, like, over 100 episodes, so it's not surprising I don't have any good questions, but... You know what? I don't know if I've asked this in a while. Who's your favorite character in Homestuck? Because I think I asked this early on in the series, before we'd met the Alpha Kids for sure. Which means that was before we met, like, Calliope and Caliborn. And yeah, I don't know. It's a tough question for me to answer at this point, too. After I finish doing all these support conversations, which is basically what I'm calling them, I plan to do I'll update the tier list with the new versions of the characters, because, I mean, the universe got reset, so it's only fair. But right now, I mean, is it recency bias? Maybe. But it might be. It might be Vriska. Like, I don't think I'd put her at the top of my tier list, but as personal favorites go... I think it might be Vriska at this very particular moment where she's back and I'm like, oh my god, old Vriska, how I missed thee. I don't know. I mean, I still love Dave. Dave's probably my favorite human for sure. Although I like Dirk too. It's just, I feel like, I mean, I didn't mention it last time that Dirk isn't here, and that's a little suspicious, but I imagined he was just off doing something. But it seems like he's, like, ditched the group, which is not a good sign. So, that might not be good. It's fine, though. I've got another Strider to fall back on. I mean, it feels bad to say, like, oh, Dave's the backup Strider. But I've always liked Dave, okay? And especially after he... Okay, I haven't always liked Dave. That's just a purely incorrect statement. I actually used to hate Dave, but since, like, Act 3 or something, I think I've liked Dave. What was I going to say? I interrupted myself. Oh, especially after the groups actually got together and stopped talking exclusively on computers, and you could, like, sort of tell the way that Dave has had to adjust to, like, not being able to perfectly think out all his messages. I mean, before he'd, like, spit out, like, chains of nonsense every now and again, but they always felt, like, meaningful, you know, in a way. Whereas, like, new Dave is a little bit stupider, but in a good way, okay? I don't know. I'm a little sad Dave Sprite's presumably dead, because I like Dave Sprite as well. It's a fun dynamic. But, you know, this episode's almost perfectly an hour. Oh, but I gotta account for the end card, which is 20 seconds. So I've got 9 seconds left. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. 3, 2, 1...